And thank you everyone for coming today. It would mean a great deal to Philip. Since Philip has passed, there have been 3 words that have made my life so tough. Anyone who's lost someone close to them will recognise these 3 words. And those simple words are, we will never. We will never take a day trip to Dorset again. Philip grew up in Dorset. He was born in the building in Weymouth that still stands today, and he would always point it out when we went. On the 6th of February 1952, he danced in the parade ground at Upway with his friend Anne, when the Princess Elizabeth, as then, became Queen. Today marks the 67th anniversary of the coronation of that Queen on the 2nd of June 1953. He watched that coronation on a 12-inch TV, and as the size of the TVs grew, so did his love and passion for the Queen. With his best friend Anne, he would play in the garden where his mum worked, Nella. She worked as housekeeper of White Laird. And they would play in the garden, and at the end of the day, Anne tells me, quite truly, that she would end up being the Queen, and he would end up being knighted. Alternatively, Philip's ending would be that he would end up chasing Anne around the cellars with the Major's finger that was kept in a box after it was shot off in the war, not for his favourite others. We will never go out to dinner with friends. A lot of us here today went to Dublin for a lunch and dinner as far as Philip was concerned. I know you'll all remember having breakfast the next day in the airport. He went to lunch in Penzance with a 5-hour journey each way, just literally for lunch. Or you may have taken a walk to Palmer's and had dinner there, especially with the families that we found in the latter years. Or you may have had a takeaway in, or we may have had to drive to Weymouth, County Island, Newbury, Bournemouth, Wraxall, and as I say, more recently, Tunbridge. We will never sit in the garden and have lunch or watch doctors together. It's the simple things that you suddenly miss of the person you love. We will never go on holiday again. Philip loved his beach holidays, and you'll all know, and many of you have been to Weymouth with him. And I would go every time, not every time, but every year for a few days with him. And at one time we went to Tenerife with his best friend Jack. Jack had just had a knee operation, was in a wheelchair. I was 25. So the 25-year-old was pushing Jack along the prom. Philip's 54 at the time, stood beside me. Suddenly he makes a comment about tangled reefs, and we're all in hysterics. And I'm told that the residents of Tenerife are still traumatised. We will never go to the theatre. Philip worked the theatre in Weymouth, and he once gave Bruce Forsyth the wrong lights and got chased around the lines, and he told me he never caught him. I don't know if that's true. I met Philip at the Windsor Theatre the Theatre Royal in Windsor, courtesy of Colin, on a night out with Hinge and Hinge of Bracken. And we used to go back many, many hundreds of times afterwards, and we always sat in seats A11 and 12. But he would always keep his eye out to see if anyone came in from the council. We will never watch another Queen's speech. Philip had watched every single Queen's speech ever. Most of them he'd recorded and watched again. And it was his fervent interest and respect for the Queen and the royal family that was his trademark. And he takes away today with him his own privileged feeling of meeting the Queen, but he never told me what they discussed. There are hundreds more we will nevers that Philip would probably tell you after a few scotches. But now I want to share with you I will always. Those I will always will help us live without Philip's presence and love in our lives, and continue in a positive light like he did. I will always remember your zest for life an ability to live your life on your own terms. You always followed your own path and your heartfelt feelings, and you never let anyone dictate your own story. And that is a legacy you wanted to instill in everyone that you met, and I will carry that on in my journey. And I will always love and remember you by my love.